happy, let them be. I don't.
I 100% believe him when he says this. Like, he doesn't give a he's just like, this is a man who is entirely invested in weightlifting, getting a high elo in chess, and playing League of Legends. That's it. The Biden admin reportedly called trans sports complicated today with a wide range of views. It also acknowledged this from August 30th, 2023. And this is one of the reasons why I suspect they're like failing to address a incredibly easy gift, a gift that has been given to them once again to turn around and say Republicans are weird and gross. They're so weird and gross that they literally will point to like women, okay, biological women, women with a vagina and a uterus, and turn around and be like, that woman doesn't appeal to my standards, so I think that's not a woman. That's a man. That's a trans man. That's a trans woman. I don't even know any at this point. Like, that's a great opportunity to be like, why is the vice president and the president talking about an Algerian female boxer beating an Italian female boxer to like talk about trans people like this? Why are they leaning into this fake outrage? It's a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity to just be like, that's weird as bro. Run a goddamn campaign. Focus on your It's so stupid, but they won't because they're cowards, I think. But it's a gift for them. This is a great opportunity for them to just like, it's a great opportunity for them to like, just straight up be like, this is what happens when you lose your mind and you start talking about like 0.1% of the population. I know that was from a year ago. No, I know that was from a year ago, chatter. I'm saying that is indicative of how they will deal. That is indicative of how they will deal with this issue. That's what I'm saying. That shows how worried they are. What is this? Tyler made a 3-minute statement about Macaiyla. Like I said, I think Macaiyla is like a otherwise normal person, as normal as you can be in terms of just like being an extremely online individual, but she is susceptible to right-wing radicalization, just like anybody else. And the reality is, like, she's just kind of lost. She's lost in the sauce on this trans. I should talk to her, honestly, because it's like Michaela is Tyler1's baby mama, and also, I guess, are they married? I don't know, but regardless, it's, you know, no, not married. Okay, Tyler1's girlfriend, and also the mother of his child. They just had a child recently, but she's just been chirping a lot about the trans panic. She has for quite some time, I think, at this point. I feel bad for Tyler Law, says Carrie with the trans flag in the bio. He doesn't like you people either. Skull emoji. Both of you are transphobic and believe in everything you see on Twitter without doing a little bit of research. What a shame. You're 18. You have your whole life ahead of you, and you're going to fuck up by being chronically online and giving into something that isn't actually a norm. It is rare. I hope you get healthy. Talk to an actual doctor off this website and find peace. Good luck. Yeah. I'm sure that like trans people are talking to doctors on Twitter and not actual doctors. Anyway, this is everybody talk to offline, end up digging their heels even further. What do you want me to do, man? I'm not a magician. Okay, shut the fuck up. Like, there is no magic solution to this. Some people are just like invested in their ways, and then they just like double down, triple down, quadruple down, and they just like go down this rabbit hole. Okay. Anyway, where was I? She's been awful online for years, though. This isn't the first time. I mean, yeah, she has. Look. It's gone globally viral. I was in a Russian streamer's channel earlier, and they were talking about how unfair it is that a man beat up a woman. Yeah, because people are insane. But ultimately, she, just like everyone else, from Logan Paul, Jake Paul, and all these charlatans, Bradley Martin, all these people literally went on with this like global hysteria. And immediately, that's all it took. All it took was for a woman to look kind of yoked, okay? A cis woman to look kind of yoked, for people to just like run with this narrative that this is a trans woman and that it's completely unacceptable. I think Logan Paul apologized. Yeah, he literally said oopsies in his apology and then doubled down on transphobia. Macaiyla did too. I covered all this stuff. It's in my latest video on my YouTube page. We had to take it down because the Olympics are crazy. They were hunting all matter of clips. They literally stopped our video from being released, so we had to delete and censor all of the imagery of the Olympics. But listen. Yeah, he left his post up. His post garnered a lot more attention even after his apology. His apology didn't get any attention whatsoever because people really just don't care. They don't care about what the truth is, right? Run with this narrative or bought it into this narrative. I think I want to believe she's just misinformed. I met her in 2017 and she was one of the nicest people ever. Macaiyla, yes, of course she's misinformed. People forget, like, this happens in your families as well, where like people literally radicalize themselves. People literally radicalize themselves into like becoming like hateful people. Do you know what I mean? Like otherwise normal people, kind people, nice people can find themselves swept up. This is why right-wing misinformation is so goddamn dangerous. This is why right-wing bigotry is so dangerous. This is why I do what I do. This is why I try to fuck people off this ledge. Okay? That's it. That's the whole point. Like that is why I do what I do, because I want to like make sure that people don't fall into this like weird framing and just become like bigoted ass people for no reason. Like let people be themselves. It's nothing to you. There is no reason. There is no, stop Googling like anytime she's mentioned me, by the way. Like stop key searching and bringing it up in here. That's just drama. That is irrelevant. Okay. I think it's kind of censored in China right now. There's one annoying guy who always makes transphobic vids, and I haven't even seen anything from him about this. Anyway, let's continue. It's so annoying too, because I know they're sweet, but they're misinformed. I don't know what to do. That freaks me out. Like, are they dumb? Why can't you research like that? This isn't necessarily about Macaiyla. Macaiyla is just simply a vector to talk about this conversation, because you probably have people in your lives that are also falling down this pipeline. And it's not like, we have the tendency to think that like because someone is an online influencer or whatever, that like they somehow are supposed to be better read. Like that's not the case. They are susceptible to the same exact points of misinformation that radicalize people that you are, that your mom and dad is. You know what I mean? Nick Merckx is another great example of this. Where it's like they just kind of take this route. They kind of take the other route that I talk about all the time. There's like the normative position in society, in American society in general, is trans people are weird. I don't really understand it. It's kind of freaky. I don't get it, right? But that's it. It just kind of stays there. And there's two different directions you can go in that situation. You can either just be like, it's weird. I don't get it. I'm ignorant. Who cares? Okay. Which many people feel that way. Those people can be radicalized in the other direction though, easily, by being like constantly going, look, this trans person is like indecent. This trans person is indecent. This trans person was being weird. This trans person is actually cheating, right? And then when people get captivated by this narrative, by the likes of Matt Walsh or Ben Shapiro or any number of different right-wing content creators, they start becoming increasingly more hateful and increasingly more misinformed on the issue. And ultimately you arrive at where we're at right now. You look at a cis woman fighting another cis woman, and you think, well, everyone is saying that this person is actually a man, so I'm going to go with that, and I'm just going to double down, triple down, quadruple down on it, okay? Most people don't think about trans people at all, okay? They might have that thought that they're weird or whatever in the back of their minds, but they don't just think about that on a day-to-day basis, okay? They don't. And what? And it's sad to see someone actually fall into that trap. It's sad to see someone fall into that trap. I want to believe she will educate herself on these issues, but she's been so nasty about this topic and so smug on top of it. She's someone replying nicely about it. She hopes their kids' school gets shot up. She posted until someone told her to shut the fuck up, and I personally hope she shuts the fuck up for a while. Yeah, it's just like I'm trying to be as like nice about it as possible, but it's just pure unfiltered bigotry in this situation. And it's not only pure unfiltered bigotry in the situation, she's also up Tyler1's bag in the situation as well. And tying Tyler1 to this like insane, vile bigotry. So you're being too biased towards her? No, I'm being diplomatic, dumb, because I have the capacity to actually talk to these people directly. That's the difference. And I always try. Historically, I have always tried in circumstances like this one, because I don't want them to, like, one, obviously keep spreading like hateful narratives like this, and two, I just also don't want them to like lose their minds and get radicalized in this direction. Okay. So anyway, she was like chirping nonstop on the timeline and then made a serious apology note. I would like to start out by saying that I apologize not only to the trans community, but all of the LGBTQ plus supporters for my comments. I apologize for the misinformation that I put out. I also apologize for the hate that I put out. I was speaking out of a place of ignorance and carelessness. I've been reckless in the past, and after speaking to a close friend of mine, I realized the damage that could be done based off my actions and how my platform could truly affect people. I've never had the chance to truly reflect and think about the things that I say and how they may affect the trans community. But now realizing that I truly want to apologize for any harm done and will continue to educate myself on the matter instead of spreading hate, I will be sure to stay informed and do my due diligence. I know there are many people in the trans community who get so much hate and even can be harmed by such actions just because people don't accept them. I would not like to be a part of that. And in the future, I will be sure to think before speaking. I would also like to apologize to Tyler for speaking on his behalf out of pure ignorance and in the heat of the moment. It's wrong of me to want to spread hate through someone else's mouth, especially when their opinions extremely differ from my opinions, differ from opinions of my own. I'll be taking some time to reflect more. The trans community gets so much hate and can even be harmless. Like, where is it? It's wrong of me. Reflect more and further educate myself on this topic. Who is this? It's Michaela. She got the boss call from hell. I mean, yeah, what the f are you thinking? Like that right there is literally another showcase of like transphobia being like a brain disease. The most fake apology. She's been transphobic for so long now and has even said her trans friends agree with her transphobia. She only apologized because she jeopardized Tyler's job. It doesn't matter what she apologized for or not. Okay. It doesn't matter. Okay. Here's why it doesn't matter. Because ultimately, if you're an influencer and you're like a hateful person behind closed doors, as long as that doesn't carry out, I care mostly about stopping the flow of hateful misinformation online. That's my number one. That is my number one goal. Okay. So this doesn't mean that she has like magically decided to be a good person and become a trans ally, but it's the first right step to take in this circumstance is a good apology. Just take it. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter. It entirely depends on how she portrays herself going forward, what she chooses to do going forward. Obviously, you know, hold on. Sorry. I may be wrong, but I believe that the Algerian boxer was banned in 2023 because she beat a Russian boxer in the semifinals. She will do it again next year. She's had yearly episodes 2020. I've actually never seen her apologize for it, though. So, you know, anyway, this is what Tyler had to say.
Occur, which apologize, guys, because there were some things said on Twitter about me that were just wild. By the way, apologies for that. Let me just make this clear, real clear. I mean this truly. I do not, I'm a cuss, sorry, editors. I do not give a single about whatever the people go by. Just so if I haven't made it clear in the past, bro, I do not care. Guy, girl, other, he, him, her, both, race, color, yellow, green, black, I do not care, bro. If they are happy, let them be. I don't care.
I 100% believe him when he says this. Like, he doesn't give a he's just like, this is a man who is entirely invested in weightlifting, getting a high elo in chess, and playing League of Legends. That's it. The only thing Tyler cares for is if you feed top lane or is a bad support. Yeah, it's just like, he doesn't give a fuck. I believe him.
Especially if it doesn't affect me. Let me make that clear. I don't give a shit. They're happy, whatever, man, whatever. And I know it goes a little bit deeper than that because it's like politic-wise, they're like, well, no, because like they're doing this, they're doing that. The kid, bro, I am uneducated. I am ignorant to comment on any of that, by the way. I have no thoughts or no saying. I am
uneducated. He hates Ludwig, though? Yeah, he hates Ludwig for that reason. He made the same comment years ago.
Guys, why do you care about same-sex, no sex, have sex, identify as a guy, girl, tree, they, he, or why? Because why do you care, bro? Let other people do whatever they want. It doesn't affect you. But
this is literally from, I think this is like not even from 2022. I think this is like way older than that, actually. I think this might have been uploaded in 2022, but like, yeah, I mean, he's right. He's right. He's right. Why the f you care? What's wrong with you? Like, nah, he was in Korea here. Oh, it's 2022. It's just like, I think you are insane if this is something that you worry yourself with all the time. I'm sorry. Anything that you worry yourself with to this degree, even if it's a good thing, even if it's a good issue, even if you have the right opinions on a matter like this, if you become this invested in anything, you're going to come across as off-putting to so many goddamn people. Like, it's the cartoonish depiction that my haters have of me, or that people think of me, for example, when they think like I'm constantly preaching socialism, like in every step that I take. Like, I can't be just like a normal person that enjoys things. You know what I mean? I can't just like watch the Olympics and feel proud that LeBron James is the greatest athlete of all time. And he's just dunking on people at the age of 40 after 21 years of dominating a goddamn league. Like, I can't just feel happy or see feats of athleticism without like making it political. You know what I mean? I can. And most people don't think about these things at all because they can be normal. Okay. And that's what I mean. That's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. Like if I were to constantly look at like the Olympics and be like, well, actually, this is, I don't know, like America. I can't believe you're like riding for America. America's an imperialist nation. It's like dominating the world and has 800 military bases. And you talk about that in every conversation. People will look at you and go, yeah, you're weird, man. Shut the fuck up. Okay. And that's the left version of this. You know what I mean? And it's just like transphobic people think more about trans people than trans people do because their brain is warped, dude. It is literally a mental illness. You've lost your goddamn mind, dude. You've literally lost your mind. You're like constantly thinking about trans people. What's wrong with you? Trans people are not thinking about trans people this much. Fucking let people breathe, man. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's like, let me show you a picture of every dead kid in Gaza. Can you imagine if I did that every day? And I've literally covered the ongoing active genocide in Gaza for 10 months, every single day, nonstop. But in the real world, I'm not running around with photos of kids whose brains have been blown up and like actively showing it to people and be like, look at this. And that is the correct position to have. Like, obviously, being anti-genocide is the correct position to have. But I would be a psycho if I did that. So my point is, like, even if you are on the right side of history, even if your cause is just, okay? And so, like, even if you're doing something correct, technically, morally correct, if you take it to that point, you're just going to be hurting your own cause. And that's what a lot of transphobes do. They think, like, this is the most significant thing. They can't stop thinking about it. You know?
Do not know any guys. Leave me the f out of it. I don't know, bro. I said my take, man. I do not care. Reading some of these comments has been wild because it's like, dude, like people are like, yeah, I could just tell he was like that. Yeah, he's also like, wait, what? Like I'm reading some wild shit, man.
Okay, to be fair, he's a League of Legends player. Like that's a given. Okay, like that's a given. Like people are gonna assume that about you, big dog. You play League of Legends, okay? Like that's not that off base. It comes with the territory. You know what I mean? Like,
like what is happening? By the way, like yeah, bro. If you're surprised by this, like what are you saying? What? They're like, is there ever?
Are there a good number of former chatters you've met IRL who realized the purpose of this entire tirade and actually started doing good outside of the internet? I don't know why so many people don't get that being relatable to the average working person is the only way to achieve the goal of uniting workers of the world. How can we unite people we've isolated from on a fundamental level by serving them the top of the hour ad break, which is like the principal uniting thing that happens on this broadcast, where those who are unsubscribed at the top of the hour will be united with those who are subscribed because they don't want to see the ads. And then they will end up purchasing a subscription for $6 or for free with a Twitch Prime, using their Twitch Prime here on the broadcast by connecting their Amazon Prime account to their Twitch account. They can also get gifted a sub too. That's another way to unite people. Here's a 3-minute ad break now. I don't know, being a self-righteous asshole really worked out in the 2010 not my job to educate you era, right? Yeah, I mean, obviously I hate that. But I also understand where people are coming from when they say that in some instances, because like if you're a trans person, you're constantly receiving like combative takes about people that literally deny your existence and think you're a danger, right? If you're a black person, you're constantly around people, especially in like hostile environments where people are just like not going to understand your lived experience and they're going to constantly question you. So like there is a validity to the emotional labor argument. That's why I do what I do. I'm a white dude. It's easy for me. You know, I have a lot of privilege, so I can use that for good. It doesn't impact me directly in the same way that it impacts a black person or a trans person when someone is being anti-black or someone is being transphobic. You feel me? So I get that, but I also do urge people that are from these marginalized backgrounds that, like, you know, they take the time out and try to actually educate people. I try to arm people with the talking points to be able to talk to other people. You know what I mean? So yeah, don't worry. We got the Kyle Rittenhouse thing coming down the docket in a second. TikTok libs are going to call you a white leftist theory bro now for saying that. Yeah, I don't care, man. They're TikTok liberals. Okay. They're TikTok rad libs. They don't know what's going on. I don't give a shit. Okay. I've been doing this for 10 plus years. Half of those people literally learned a third of their worldview from watching me during COVID. Okay. Give me a goddamn break. They've been doing that and they will continue doing that. And it doesn't matter. Who cares? Like, bugün Insta'yı kapadılar AQ. Yeah. Gördüm.
Ever been a time, like, bro, no, I've worked with like everybody for anything, like TwitchCon. You know, we work with people on that. I've had editors, people that make art. Bro, we use he, she, they, them, everybody. The basketball stream. Like, bro, it's not like, ew, I don't, like, what are you saying? I don't give a shit. God damn. So apologies for all that drama. I know we don't ever deal with that here, but I was thrown into this against my will. So again, I apologize that we had to deal with that. This is like a safe space. We never talk about any politics, by the way. You know what's crazy? Just yesterday, we were literally talking about getting canceled and like things like that. And I was like, yeah.
I don't think he's like lying to preserve the bag here for people who like think that there is like some kind of nefarious purpose, or that there is like or he's just like, you know, hiding the truth and he's like secretly transphobic. I just don't think that is like I think he's right. He's right on this. Like, this is his opinion.
It couldn't ever happen, by the way. Will never happen. I don't talk about anything. And sure enough, comedy. It is what it is. I said my part. I don't care, bro. I didn't care. Anyway, let's move forward amicably, right? I'm tired today. I've had a long morning. I've had a long day. Let's move forward amicably. Tomorrow,
my goat.
We're going to be LCS co-streaming.
My goat. Tyler's great. I love him. It's hard not to. I mean, straight up. He's awesome, bro. He should get his girl under control then. Bro, that's so funny. Having a 20-month subscriber, talk like a goddamn right-winger. Yo, put your girl on a leash, dog. Like, what do you mean, bro? What kind of misogynistic is this? Okay, calm the down, dickhead. Jesus Christ. These are two individual adults we're talking about. Yeah, one of them's got brain rot, which, by the way, I didn't even realize this banged so goddamn hard. Transphobia is a legitimate brain disease that eventually causes people to suspect everyone of being trans. We're watching that happen in real time on a website run by a transphobic deadbeat dad freak. This harms trans women and cis women. Y'all are weird as... I didn't even realize it banged until somebody sent me this in the chat. Hasan has some words for transphobes and homophobes. Anyway, sort by controversial. Why the fuck would I do that, man? I'm trying to preserve my brain, not like lean into the brain rot. Dude, you were like the only one on Twitter against the brain rot wave. No, there's definitely plenty of content creators who are also against it. Caroline had a good take as well. This is just something that I've talked about so much, like so much. Okay. This is something that I have been an advocate for years and years and years. I myself had transphobic opinions. You guys know this. I'm very open about it, like 10 plus years ago. And I use that as a way to you know, actively try and de-radicalize people. God damn, Caroline, so we got 300,000 likes. Michael Phelps is literally referred to as a freak of nature because of his disproportionate wingspan, double jointed ankles, lung capacity twice of an average human, body that produces half the lactic acid of a typical athlete, and he is rightly celebrated for being the greatest male swimmer in history. Meanwhile, female athletes with genetic differences are legally discriminated against and harassed to no end. This is not about protecting women in sports. This is about protecting a very specific idea of what a woman is. Woo! That's a great take. Popped off on that. Women's sports gets massive attention only when transvestigators go on a rampage screaming about trans female athletes and cis female athletes who they claim are men. None of them care about real issues like unequal pay, inadequate training facilities, less visibility in the media, fewer athletic opportunities, rampant abuse and discrimination, etc. Yeah. And then immediately, look, on mass media, real issues. It's possible all issues should be looked at, but idiots like you, on the one hand, believe WNBA who loses millions a year should be paid the way NBA who make billions should be paid. It's like, dude, you just did it. You just did that. You literally replied with exactly what she was referencing. Asmon Dumb said this was a valid comparison because he is not a valid comparison because he is brain rot. Wait, what? Not a valid comparison in what respect? I thought your Wemby comparison was really solid. I mean, I've talked about Michael Phelps quite a bit. I've talked about Wemby quite a bit. I've talked about, in terms of like hormone replacement, I've talked about one lesser known talking point that I am responsible for. If you ever hear this in trans discourse, that came from here. Messi, you know, like if you ever hear somebody in the wild bring up Messi, who also underwent like hormone therapy, who took HGH to overcome his like genetic predisposition, his his disability. Remember that. Imane Khelif was literally born a female. What are y'all on about? 364,000 got clocked so bad she swore it was, oh, Jesus.
Everything.
Lol, you did not create that point? Yes, I did years ago. I had never heard it anywhere else. I've never heard anybody use the Messi comparison.
What about Michael Phelps then? Michael Phelps was not inside of a league that was defined by its restrictions.
What? What does that even mean? Not a valid comparison. There's a reason boxing is a weight class and swimming and football, etc. do not. Wait, do you think that Imane Khelif actually is not in the same weight class as the person that she was competing against? The f are you talking about? They're in the same weight class, dumbass. What the f? They're the same weight class. It's not like they put her in a different weight class. These comparisons are not combat sports, not valid, my brother. Not what I said. Yeah, it is. It is. Okay. Also, the NBA is a great comparison too. The f do you mean? You're still yamming on when you're in the NBA. LeBron James is too tall and too athletic. He should not play, which is ironic because that is what they used to say about black people competing in sports. That was literally what they used to say back in the day. Advocates for segregated leagues would be like, well, black people are too strong and too aggressive and they have different genes. Straight up. It's the same. It's so silly to be like, it's not a valid comparison because this is a weight class issue. It's like they're in the same weight class. What are you talking about? She's also a cis woman. That's also ridiculous. Yes, but there's a difference in combat sports. You're being obtuse. Brother, we're talking about a cisgender woman, born a woman, has a uterus, beating the dog out of another woman. You're mad because one woman is punching harder than another woman. Shut the f up. I hate this made. People are like, I'm sorry. I don't like it. I don't like it. This woman, I don't like it. She doesn't look enough for me. Maybe she could beat my ass too. I'm saying there's you comparing combat sports to swimming. Brother, the point is correct. All matter of athletic competition, whether you are beating the dog out of another person or whether you're pouncing on them because you got pads on or whether you are out competing them in laps, is still going to have some genetic, some natural inequalities built into the sport. That's what makes sports great. Okay? Like, it's such a funny thing. It's such a funny thing to be like, I'm a combat sports enjoyer and I'm really scared that the combat sports that I'm enjoying has combat in it. Like, what? Like, do you hear yourself? And you're talking about it when you're talking about like two cisgender women fighting each other. Okay? Genetic differences exist in every sport, from combat sports to gymnastics, all the way to swimming and basketball. Every sport has genetic differences. That's why a 51-year-old Turkish man can roll up there, no glasses, no gear whatsoever, and just boom, get a silver medal. Okay, that dude is naturally gifted at shooting. He's a crack shot. What are you gonna do? This is just how it is. That's why seeing 5'8" guys in the NBA is so great. They overcame genetic differences. Exactly. Like, how would you even remove the genetic advantages in sports? You can't. Also, it wouldn't even be good. It would be bad to do that. It would be boring to do that. This is like participation trophy. It's participation trophy flipped on its head, but it's like being done from the right wing side. So I guess it's not participation trophy advocacy, but it is. It is. That is exactly what this is. It's lame as, and it pisses me off that people don't realize it. Oh, it scares me. I saw a scary woman doing combat sports and she's good.
Do you understand what the difference there is? So this is obviously a bad argument. Basically, Michael Phelps was in a league and it said anybody can join this league. It doesn't matter what you are, what you ever.
Yeah, famously, nobody ever cries about women's, trans women swimming with cis women. I don't even know what he just said here. What he just said is completely irrelevant. It sidesteps the actual point of contention, which is that Michael Phelps has genetic advantages. Okay, he has genetic advantages, just like Imane has genetic advantages. Okay, natural advantages. That's it. I've seen people transvestigating Katie Ledecky. Yes, people are very frustrating, especially because like they just can't fucking sit around and enjoy the goddamn Olympics, and it pisses me off. Okay, I can't believe I'm the one saying this. These are the same people that used to chirp about SJWs all the time, making everything political. Like literally, that's what they used to cry about in like the late 2010s, right? Oh, SJWs make everything political. Just you can't fucking enjoy shit. And they literally do this. They do this nonstop. Right wingers are so much worse than the fucking peak of SJW culture in like 2015. They just can't understand it, They can't understand it at all. They just literally are like, they're looking at the Olympics and they're like, what can I be mad about today? It's like, dude, live your fucking life, big dog. You got bills to pay. You got taxes to pay. The fucking potholes are not fixed in your goddamn neighborhood. And you're sitting around eating fucking hot Cheetos on your couch, getting angry that a woman does not look fuckable enough for you. So they must be a man. The fuck's wrong with you? Stop. It makes me so mad. It makes me so goddamn mad when people are just like, did you see the opening ceremony? It's like, no, I didn't. You know why? Because I don't fucking care, okay? I don't. Oh, but they were being disrespectful to Christianity. It's like, dude, what are you talking about, dude? They're French. They're Christians themselves. And they're weird. Why do you care about some fucking artistic depiction? What's wrong with you? How does this impact your life in any way? You just sat there, someone told you to get mad at this shit, and now you're fucking mad at it. You goddamn baboon.
This time yesterday, Garant, you were telling us about the controversy in the women's boxing with Imane Khelif, etc. Can you just give us...
It's Dionysus. It has nothing to do with Christianity. Even if it was literally everything to do with Christianity, who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? It is it is artistic depiction happening at the Olympics opening ceremony. Who fucking cares? What are you doing? I'm not having this conversation, okay? I don't want to have this conversation. I will not be having this conversation. I don't care, okay? It's like getting mad at fucking Eurovision, okay? It's like looking at Eurovision and being like, oh man, the trans agenda is out in display at Eurovision. I'm like, have you seen Eurovision? Everything in Eurovision is gay as fuck, dog. It's like complaining about Disney movies being gay. Have you watched a Disney movie? What's wrong with your fucking brain? Being afraid of the biblical devil in 2024? Yeah, it's like, dude, you have a child brain, okay? If you look at the biblical devil and you get scared of like the depictions of like the Antichrist or whatever, you are a child. Like, not even a child is afraid of that shit. We have depictions of it in like cartoons and stuff. Like, it's worse than having a child's brain. What the fuck?
Give us a little update. What's the latest?
Anyway, here's Karini who wants to apologize to Imane Khelif amid boxing gender row.
On that situation today.
Right, I'll do this in sort of chronological order. This morning, clarification and clear clarification on why Imane Khelif and Taiwan's Lin Yuting are allowed to box here, why they are eligible to be boxing here at the Olympic Games. Yesterday there was an awful lot of noise around this story, but this is the clear clarification. They're eligible to box at these games for very clear reasons. Firstly, on their passport, it says they are female, but also even further with that.
I don't believe it, brother. I need to see their pussies now. I need to see their pussies now. I'm a normal man. I demand to see pussies. And even if I see a pussy, it's not enough. I need to see ovaries, brother. I need to see chromosomes, brother. I need to do a penis inspection check. Do you understand how fucking weird you are for behaving like this? Do you get that? Show me your pussy now. Like, that's a wild thing to fucking say, dude. Republicans won't stop until they see everybody's fucking genitals, dude. They're psychotic.
Now, at birth, they were registered as female. They have grown and lived as females. They have boxed as females. And it's been made clear by the IAC, they do not see this as a transgender issue. It is not. It is not a man fighting a woman. There are an awful lot of politics on many, many sides. The battle between the IBA, the International Boxing Association, and the IOC, who do not like one another. Remember, the IBA is suspended from the Olympics. The IOC run the boxing here as an independent committee. There's that political side of it. There's the influence of Russia Russia, with the IBA, Russia being banned by the Olympics as well. There are other geopolitical matters at hand as well, which have made the issue very, very difficult to understand. Now, the second boxer who's been caught up in this controversy was Taiwan's Lin Yuting. She fought this afternoon. She had an impressive display against her Uzbek opponent, beating her with a unanimous decision by the judges. Her Uzbek opponent, Satora Turdybakova, 5-0 on the judges' scorecard. That was there. And then just in the last couple of hours as well, a lot of controversy yesterday, obviously around that bout between Imane Khelif of Algeria and Italy's Angela Carini. The bout lasting 46 seconds. Carini leaving the ring without acknowledging Khelif once the bout was ended. Well, Carini has spoken to a very reputable newspaper in Italy, Gazzetta dello Sport, and what she has said, I'll paraphrase it, saying, "All the controversy makes me sad. I'm sorry for my opponent too. If the IOC said she can fight, I respect that decision." She goes on to say, while regretting not shaking her hands at the end of the bout, she says, "It wasn't something I wanted to do. Intended to do. Actually, I want to apologise to her and to everyone else. I was angry because my Olympics had gone up in smoke," and she said if she were to meet Khelif again, she would embrace her. So some context and maybe some different perspective from Angela Carini and the Italian boxing team than there was yesterday with this story involving the Algerian Imane Khelif and the Taiwanese boxer Lin Yuting.
Caitlin Wheeler is an ambassador at the aforementioned Riley Gaines Center and a former collegiate swimmer. She joins me now. Caitlin, will the Biden-Harris...
Bro, will the Biden-Harris administration, respond to this? Is so crazy. The hilarious thing is that if we were in the Greek times, they wouldn't stop the fighting. If anything, they would have more fights exactly like that. They'd also be fucking naked. My biggest problem with it is that it's rooted in women being inferior to men by default. Oh, yeah. No, that's a huge part of this as well. A huge part of this. As an avid boxing fan, I've been engaging the community for a long time. It's a really conservative sport, very bigoted at times, and still have more understanding as the average normie that are now paying attention. It's insane. I don't get it at all. Imane has been a familiar name, kind of a subpar one, and most of the natural level of testosterone discourse has never been important. Normies right wing are so brain broken. Yes, because they don't care about the sport. They don't care about boxing. And they certainly do not care about women's sports at all. They just care about being transphobic. That is their goal. And they will use anything and everything. They will use anything and everything to push that agenda because they're fucking insane. And I'm sick and tired of acting like they're not. They're fucking weird. Okay? They're weird as fuck and they're insane. They are hallucinating shit. Okay? You're insane? Yes, dude. I'm insane because I think that it is ridiculous to act like a woman who's a fucking woman is not a woman all of a sudden because she doesn't appeal to your understanding of what a woman should look like. Sorry, I am not capitulating to your schizophrenic hallucinations, so I must be the crazy one. It's like wild. These are supposedly people who care about women's sports, by the way. I care about women's sports. That's why I'm telling a woman is not... That's why I'm saying that one woman is actually not a woman with no fucking evidence whatsoever. Imane Khelif's next opponent posted this. The IOC Media Olympics Hungarian boxer Luca Hamori posted numerous hateful messages on her Instagram about her upcoming opponent, Imane Khelif. This is contrary to athletes' declaration of rights and responsibilities for athletes within the Olympic movement. I don't even know what this means, but this is the girl who is fighting the male boxer tomorrow. Oh, and then she reposted it. Nice. I hope she gets her fucking ass beat, by the way. Are they just in too deep to not admit they are wrong and that chick is a biological cis woman? Yes. Some people are just so invested in this narrative. I mean, a lot of people are. They're just so invested in the narrative that they don't care. They just legitimately don't care. They don't care about what the truth is. They never did. Just like they never cared about the actual fucking... Just like they never cared about defending women's sports. Right? That was never a real thing. That was just as real as Gamergate motherfuckers being I care about ethics in video gaming journalism. I care about ethics in video game journalism. It's just a way to masquerade your ridiculous worldview as a more appealing position. Because honestly, if you were running around being I just fucking hate trans women, I think they shouldn't have any business anywhere, and because of my undying hatred of trans women, I'm just imagining that there are trans women in every fucking corner. People will look at you and be like, okay, that's a little weird for me. Luca Hamori, the Hungarian upcoming opponent of Imane Khelif, referred to her as corks in her Instagram stories, which is a Hungarian word that is used to describe half-breed dogs. In the Hungarian Nazi dictionary, it is often used as a synonym for degenerate. Ban this racist Nazi from the Olympics. I hope she gets banned. Fuck her. Stupid ass, dumb motherfuckers, dude. Freaks. It was inevitable, by the way. It was inevitable, okay? It was inevitable that, like, if there were no trans people competing, whether because they didn't qualify or for some other reason, they were going to eventually point the finger at cis women that they suspect are secretly trans. This is the unfortunate but very foreseeable byproduct of just having your brain be warped in this direction. Speaking of fucking transvestigations, which is the final stage, the terminal stage of like transphobia as a mental illness, okay? Kyle Rittenhouse is being transvestigated now, to which I say let them fight. But like, do you understand how brain broken these motherfuckers are? Anyway, we're gonna get to that story in a second. I just want to hear more of this like fucking fake outrage off of like a completely hallucinated talking point.
Changes that Chanley mentioned to Title IX lead to a similar scene that played out there in Paris, playing out at gyms and on fields all throughout our nation.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what we're going to see. I wish I could say this was surprising what we saw here at the Olympic Games. Of course, it's awful. It's sick that we're glorifying male violence against women. But it's not surprising because it's the exact same.
Yeah, male violence against women should only be done inside of a no-fault divorce, okay? Or which I don't believe in. I believe that male violence against women can only happen. Male violence against women can only happen inside of shitty marriages where there's domestic abuse happening. That I think is good and fine, and people should stay in this relationship regardless.
Same things we've seen.
Yeah, male violence against women can only happen between a cop and a cop's wife. Male violence can only happen against women between Dana White and Dana White's wife.
Happening in our own country. The IOC is filled with the exact same weak-kneed, spineless people we have in the NCAA and YMCAs and Planet Fitnesses and these organizations who allow men into women's spaces. And to the viewers who may not have seen the video of Khelif punching Angela Carini in the face, when you watch it...
I can't believe it's been 48 hours of this fucking narrative, and these guys have not even, like, turned around and been like, yeah, my bad, we were wrong, actually, for saying that this person is a male. Like, they're just still going with it. Delulu. But in a very dangerous way, okay? Like, think about that. They're not like, oh, yeah, maybe we up on this one. Like, some on the right, including Logan Paul, turned around and was like, okay, my bad. This wasn't a man fighting against a woman. But could you imagine if it was? These guys aren't even doing that. They're just doubling down. They're like, no, that's a man, dog. I don't care.
Take a long, good look. This is what the Biden-Harris administration sees as the future. And unfortunately, it's the reality we're living in our own country. So you must remember a vote.
Bro, the funniest thing about this is you never hear people chirping like this when they're good. Okay? Ain't nobody who's actually good is chirping like this. It's always the worst, like, 8th pick Andys that are like, oh my God, I lost because of trans people. You lost to like 7 cis women. Fuck you mean? Swim better. Why are you chirping? Learn to swim better, dumbass. Fuck you mean? This is what I don't understand. What is this loser? Oh my God, bro. Get good. Get good. Get good. Participation trophy ass, dude. Holy, it's crazy that we just like celebrate being a annoying loser like this. And then they try to masquerade this as some kind of virtue. Yeah, maybe all the people that were ahead of me that were cis women were also secretly trans women, actually.
For Kamala Harris is a vote for this exact thing.
This person is from the Riley Gaines Center ambassador. Like, I'm sorry. America used to be a nation that was proud of its accomplishments, okay? We used to be a country that dominated. What the happened, dude? What is this right-wing losers constantly chirping, celebrating the Confederacy's L's, celebrating the L's of these loser-ass athletes who couldn't cut it? What happened? These are them who used to say no participation trophies. So I guess yes, participation trophies, as long as you can just like cry about a secret trans person defeating you. Is that what it is? What is going on? God damn, dude. Get back to work. I'll listen to you when I can see you beat the record, all right? The testosterone level is not fair, dumbass. Brother, that's not a point of contention here. It's not happening. You're talking about a dumb who is literally losing to cis women. It's never winners, okay? Winners don't talk like this because they got the Mamba mentality. They don't stop. They persevere. That's what good athletes do. This is loser talk. And you're also a loser as well. You're a loser because you're celebrating other losers crying on Fox News, okay? Okay, so let's put a man hitting a woman. Bitch, between you and I, if I was pummeling your skull, it would look like a man hitting a woman too, okay? That's why there's weight classes. Shut the f up. You're imagining an issue. That is not what's happening, okay? Shut up. Shut your ass up. Well, let's put a man hitting a woman. That's not what's happening here. You're just imagining that that's what's happening here. Shut the f up. It's all about the chromosomes science. You're too stupid to have a conversation with. Take a day off. Can't even spell. It's so obvious that these are just simply talking points that you heard from some dumb right-winger that you're just trying to write in here and it's not even working. It's science, dude. Yeah, it's weird that like all the scientists don't agree with you, but it doesn't matter. It's not science. You just heard it from a YouTuber, idiot.
It's the vote for erasure of women and women's sports.
I think we all agree that we want people to be able to live in their own skin in a way free from discrimination. But that's...
No, you don't. No, you don't. Shut the fuck up. We really do. We do. But we care about women's sports. And that's why we're on a cis woman right now, because she looks kind of brolic.
Not what this is about. I guess what it comes back to is what you just alluded to. Who watches that young lady in that video, that Italian boxer, who worked her whole life for that moment?
Loser shit. Loser shit. You're a loser, okay? And it's so funny because it's like an Algerian boxer, an Algerian female boxer fighting against an Italian female boxer. And it's like the top of the news at Fox News. Like this is the major story. This is the story. This is what we got to be talking about right now. She got owned, man. That's it. What is this? In the video of this Italian player, Angela Cranny withdraws in front of the Turkish player Busenas Sürmeneli. It seems she can't face her, so she looks for excuses to cover up her failure and lack of effort in training. That's crazy. Flop machine, bro. Flop machine. Isn't transitioning illegal in Algeria? Yes. You go to jail for just being trans. That's the other part of this, which is crazy. It's just so goddamn lame, dog. It's so lame. We're celebrating being a annoying little crybaby loser. What the?
So much for that moment. Literally break down in tears and say she had to quit the fight because she was scared she was going to die. Who watches all that and says, you know, I side?
It's combat sports. If you can't take the heat, get the out of the kitchen. We're talking about combat sports, bro. What the? You're a loser, dog. Shut the up. What is this conversation that we're having, bro? Oh, I'm sorry. She punches too hard? What the you mean? That's the point, dumbass. That's the point. What is happening? Oh, man, Mike Tyson's opponents are too scared because he punches too hard. That's the whole point. That's the point. That's the point. This ain't a tickle party. What the you mean?
Side with the other person. I don't get that, Caitlin.
Yeah, it's absolutely disgusting. I think anyone with a brain could see how unfair this is, how wrong this is. I mean, we've seen our administration now take Title IX, which was enacted 52 years ago, as you said. They have taken this piece of legislation and essentially dropped it in the paper shredder and created their own. This rewrite is actively in effect. And the Biden-Harris administration and the entire Democratic Party swears up and down that they are the party for women. Well, if they truly are the party for women, why are they not out there fighting for women who are going up against these men at the Olympics? Why are they the exact same ones to rewrite Title IX? They are the reason that many of my friends and thousands of women in our own country have been sidelined on podiums, exploited in locker rooms, and injured on the court.
Thing that is happening, okay? You're just making all of this shit up. Oh, there is nothing funnier than having female athletes talk about transphobia, like repeat transphobic takes, because y'all also are brolic, bro. Like Riley Gaines, right? This is Caitlin Wheeler talking about this. She's an NCAA swimmer and a fucking loser, right? She's actually here as an ambassador from the Riley Gaines Center for stupid ass athletes who couldn't fucking cut it, okay? Let me show you what Riley Gaines looks like, okay? Brother, like, come on. Why are you desperately trying to fucking, like, why are you acting like, oh, well, some people just like look weird and maybe they're trans and whatever. Like, you also are pretty brolic. Look at your goddamn shoulders, Riley. Like, what are you doing? You are the living definition of a person that doesn't fit the stereotypical what women should look like. Why? Why are you, like, do you think when you just fucking advocate for this thing that people will just like automatically go, oh yeah, that's like, you know, they're just not going to be transphobic to you too? This makes no dang sense, dude. Like, it makes no sense. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I genuinely don't understand it. It's like on the side of men, you got Ben Shapiro talking about fucking rigid gender binaries. And on the women's side, the TERFs are the clockiest of them all. Like, this is such a stupid fucking conversation to have, because like she's 3 seconds removed from like the entire fandom that she's cultivated turning on her and being like, actually, I need to see your pussy too, Riley. Do you have one? Riley is a man's name. You got some man hands on you, Riley. You got clavicles that are broader than me, Riley. Like, what are you doing? Like, you are living, breathing, personified proof that like women can be brolic. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, that's why it's so crazy. It's like this is what athletes look like. That's it. This is what female athletes look like. They're at the peak of their fucking conditioning. Well, maybe not Riley because she's a fucking loser, but what are we doing? As an Algerian and a Muslim, we will never support any type of LGBT. Legally, our gender decided in the second of birth. No one can change, so we'll live with same gender that a doctor give it to you. And if she was transgender, we won't ever let her represent our country because it goes against our religion. Yeah, okay, bro. This is not your opportunity to fucking chirp in and say some like fucking transphobic shit either, okay? That's also a problem. Like, like the point in contention here isn't the fact that like the Algerian boxer is a man. She's not, we know. Or that she's trans. She's not, we know. But we're not going to fucking celebrate Algeria's restrictions on trans people. Algeria finding out it's woke.
I didn't know that. I just, you're telling me now for the first time.
Yeah, I don't think Islam has said anything about trans people. Yeah, it's ironic because like Iran is maybe a little too pro-trans. Maybe beyond being pro-trans. Anyway, why are you giving this more attention? I don't know, because your fucking uncle cares about it. Your mom cares about it. Every dumbass that you know from your hometown is literally wrong on this issue. So I'm going to keep fucking hammering it into their goddamn heads and your head too. So you understand and are equipped with the right talking points to be like, hey, this is what the truth is. You're out of your fucking mind.
They're doing the exact opposite of fight for women.
I'm Steve Ducey. I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And
I'm Brian Kilmeade. Italy and UK politicians react to Imane Khelif in the boxing controversy.
Diciamo caratteristiche genetiche maschili non debbano essere ammessi alle gare femminili, e non perché si voglia discriminare qualcuno, ma per tutelare il diritto delle atlete di poter competere ad armi pari. Quindi non ero d'accordo con la scelta nel 2021, non sono d'accordo con la scelta oggi.
A noi dispiace molto che ci sia stato il ritiro da parte dell'atleta italiana Carini, ma penso che si sia andati
in the attacks and even in the fake news that they've been produced about this Algerian athlete
che sono state prodotte sul conto di questa atleta algerina.
Hasan, are you dumb? Wait, what? What is this guy saying? Wait, fuck. Hasan, are you dumb? If Muslim countries won't ban transgenders, who would ban them? Are you even a Muslim to talk about something religion related? First of all, yes, I am. You know, I grew up in a Muslim country. And secondly, the fuck are you talking about? You don't even know your own goddamn religion if you're talking about this shit, okay? There's literally, like, Islam does not give a fuck. The anti-trans stuff is like new shit, okay? It's totally new shit. You can get, Iran literally has gender confirmation surgery, sometimes by force if someone is caught being gay. The fuck? In Egypt, you can literally get gender transition surgery approved by Al Azhar. Abortion and trans rights in Muslim countries are absolutely wrong. Transgenders existed during Muhammad's life. They literally lived in his house. They had an important social role in early Islam in the Abbasid era. Yeah, it's just like people are so stupid about this. One, Islam is not a monolith. Two, if you are to look at like Muslim countries, obviously their opinion on trans people and abortion differ from one another, as they are not a monolith. But by and large, they're fairly more tolerant than even their Christian counterparts. So I don't know what the fuck this is always some like Western invention. People literally will be like, oh, well, fucking go live in a Muslim country or whatever. And I'm not even saying that because like, obviously trans rights have gotten worse in countries like Turkey recently, but it's relatively new culture war phenomena. It's not actually like a historical thing under Islam. Oh, Islam absolutely prohibits transgenderism. And referring to Iran basically excommunicated by 90% of Muslims doesn't make sense. HasanAbi, I just gave you examples that are not just Iran. You can't just like cast aside Iran and be like, they're fake Muslims. What the fuck do you mean excommunicated? Shut up, dude. Talking in here like a fucking Wahhabist fundamentalist. Christ cuck Muslims are the funniest. I hate how toxic chat becomes the second trans issues come up. They're not only toxic, but they're just like chirping completely from an uneducated point of view. Okay, that's the shit that pisses me off on top of everything else, which is that like people aren't just chirping, they're also wrong. But you cannot even explain to them that they are wrong. They're just like, nah, I don't believe it. It is identical to the same situation that we're experiencing with respect to Imane Khelif, where they're like, nah, I don't care. She's a man. He's a man. You know what I mean? And it's just so fucking stupid. It's like, well, what do you mean? That's not the case. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to lie so you feel better? No, you are wrong. I know, I'm wrong. Of course. She's not trans. You guys are right. It's a fucking man. You aren't. You are wrong. You don't know, bruh. Not transphobic, but you're wrong about the Islam thing. Islam is not a monolith. But in the Islamic world broadly, while in recent years, Turkey, for example, has gotten more transphobic under the Erdogan regime, historically speaking, Islam does not give a shit about trans people. Islamic countries like the fucking Caliphate in the Ottoman Empire did not give a single fuck about gay people. As a matter of fact, the Caliphate decriminalized homosexuality in the 18th century, okay? The Islamic Caliphate. If we're not going to talk about Iran, and you're like, oh, Iran is some other shit, let's talk about the Islamic Caliphate in the Ottoman Empire, okay? Homophobia, transphobia, and these kinds of attitudes about gay people, trans people are relatively new phenomena and oftentimes simply born out of Western opinions cultivated in the church, okay? You talking about people not Islam? Shut up. I just said the Caliphate. Fuck you mean I'm talking about people not Islam. There is no better singular depiction. It's like fucking talking about the Pope in the Catholic Church. Jesus Christ.
È una questione di cui si dovrebbe occupare di più la scienza e i regolamenti olimpici e di meno la politica, soprattutto se la politica se ne occupa, come abbiamo visto in queste ore, in maniera assolutamente demagogica.
If you think the difference between male and female and subsequent gender identity is as simple as having or not having an X chromosome, then please stick around and watch this video to try and learn a little bit about this crazy controversy that's going on in the Olympic world. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Dr. Brian Suter, and my goal in this channel is to help teach you about the medical side of this.
You're wrong about Islam. Also, what's a caliphate? Exactly. People that don't know anything, people that do not know anything about anything are just like chirping off of like things that they read on Reddit, okay? Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what a fucking caliphate is, but I read on, on a Reddit comment that Islam is like across the board religiously very transphobic, very homophobic, yada yada yada. I don't care to investigate the history, and I am committed to my opinion, committed to my position here. Transsexuality among the Marsh Arabs. Muslims are generally very homophobic. No. I swear to God, Islamophobia is the last bigotry to leave a progressive person. Islamophobia and transphobia are like the two major bigotries that are so normalized in Western society that they just like, so many people never check their shit, never check their attitude, never actually listen to someone with a different perspective, different framework. It doesn't matter. And this is the final stage of that cope. There's a difference between what Islam actually says and the actions of Muslims. Brother, the actions of Muslims, we're talking about 1 billion fucking people that span across the entire goddamn planet with multiple different ethnic backgrounds and cultures. Fuck you mean the actions of Muslims? There are fucking porky little pigs everywhere around the planet. There's fundy Muslims just like there are fundy Christians. If you can make that distinction in your goddamn mind about Americans, you should be able to think about that with respect to the entire Islamic world, okay? I myself am from a Muslim family. I grew up in a Muslim country. I'm Muslim. My name is Hasan, okay? Now think about my worldview. You're literally talking to a person that doesn't fit the mold that you have cultivated in your fucking mind. So shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ. Oh. Anyway.
Sports world. I'm actually in Paris right now. I've been here for the Olympics the past week or so. You can see Paris outside my window there. It's been absolutely beautiful. But the biggest story the past couple days has been, of course, with women's boxing. The story, of course, is that this Algerian boxer, Imane Khelif, is identifying as a woman. She's in female women's boxing, but there's a lot of talk that people saying she's a male. She's had these previous disqualifications for having XY chromosomes and failed gender testing. And so why in the world are we letting a man compete in a woman's sport, especially boxing? This is not the first time we've seen a big story like this. You might remember this track and field athlete, Caster Semenya, who was a middle distance runner who was disqualified from running certain events because of this whole differences in sexual development diagnosis and picture. This is going to be as simple as possible of an embryology or the study of how we grow and develop, genetics and physiology lesson, so I can try to open people's mind to some of these challenging discussion points. Our genes are the blueprint for how our body functions and is built and is made. We get 1/2 of our genes from our mother and 1/2 from our father. That means most humans will have 2 genes for sex. That can be either an X chromosome or a Y chromosome. Now, typically a female sex will have an X and an X chromosome, and a male sex will have an X and a Y. The contents of those chromosomes are what determine how we are going to develop either into a female, talking about sex again, or a male, again, talking about sex. So, classic female sex, XX, classic male sex, XY. Now, interestingly, whenever we are first conceived in the womb, we all start off and we have the potential for our sexual organs, our gonads, to be either female or male. The presence of specific genes on the Y chromosome differentiate that down a pathway to become male. So, without that Y chromosome turning on the pathway to become male, everybody would go down the female path in terms of their sexual development. So if you have a normal functioning Y chromosome that turns on the pathway to send you down to have male sexual characteristics, male genitalia, etc. That's the basic black and white kind of bread and butter of how things normally go. But as you can imagine, there are a lot of possible errors in not only the genetic composition, but also what happens from the downstream physiology standpoint. On that Y chromosome is a specific gene that turns on a lot of the testosterone, the androgen signaling pathways that form the gonads, the external and internal sexual characteristics. So we're talking about the external signs like breast, gonads, etc., versus the internal genetics. With these differences or disorders of sexual differentiation, or DSD, the genetics are XY, so you have that Y chromosome that's trying to turn on the pathway to full.
The problem with this content, while it's great and plenty of people need it, is way too much detailed explanation for a hog. They don't actually give a fuck about the science, just like how they look, like you've said over and over. I know. Yeah, if you don't want me to punish you with like boring fucking biology lessons that disprove everything you think about like trans existence, then you just have to say trans rights. That's it. Okay? That's it. Listen, we can do this, which is very fucking boring, or you can just say trans rights. Trans rights are human rights. Let trans people live. Who gives a fuck? Okay? The thing is, like, no hog is watching this, okay? The hogs are probably too busy transvestigating this man, okay? They're like, oh, I don't know about that. Looking kind of gay to me, brother. Half of these people yelling about trans people on Twitter have a PFP with their husband or wife, and they're always one half of a Godskin duo marriage. They need mirrors. Godskin duo marriage. Oh no. Okay. Let's skip the doctor explaining the controversy.
Vice President